Hey y'all, good morning. I am actually getting ready to go get my hair done and run some errands and things like that, and the baby is down taking a nap. So I thought this would be the perfect time to test out a bunch of new drugstore makeup. I pretty much have like a full face of makeup drugstore products. A lot of these products were actually on a lot of like Beauty Guru's top 2017 makeup favorites list, and they're all from the drugstore, obviously. So I thought I would pick them up and we would test them out and see how they perform. So yeah, so if you follow me on Instagram, I did talk about this already on my Insta stories, and I have tested out 3 of these products because you guys kind of voted for some of the products to be tested and some of them to be like first impressions. So it's kind of going to be a mixture between first impressions and like a full review. Disclaimer, I'm going to get my hair done, so I'm decided not to do anything with my hair because it's bad. It's real bad. Okay, and I woke up with a sinus infection, so probably sound crazy. I don't feel very good. I'm like, ugh, but I'm gonna get through it. So now on to the first thing that I have not tried yet, and that is the Flower Beauty sponge. This is the, what do they call it? 3-in-1 blending sponge. And it is super squishy and super soft. Like, I'm kind of shocked. This sponge is one of Raw Beauty Christie, which is one of my favorite YouTubers, and Casey Holmes, another super fave of mine. This is one of their favorite beauty sponges from the drugstore, and I thought I would pick it up and try it. I don't really care for the Real Techniques beauty sponge, so I'm anxious to see what this is. It has like a little flat spot right here with a pointed end, and then this is all round, obviously a normal round end. It is kind of this weird shape, so we'll see. And then the other thing that I've actually been testing out for you guys is the Covergirl Healthy Elixir Foundation, the Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation, and I got the color Ivory, so the color selection is lacking, so it's kind of disappointing on that end, even for super pale girls, and then obviously darker skin, it's wasn't that great. But I've heard a lot of really good things about this foundation, so I really wanted to try it. I like that it has a pump. This is a glass bottle. It's just, the packaging is really nice, especially for a drugstore, and when I've been testing it out, I've really liked it, so I'm going to show you guys today. So I'm just going to take a few, like that many pumps, and I always start down here on my face, and then just kind of, so I did apply this foundation with my normal beauty sponge, so that I'll be able to tell kind of how this foundation performs with this sponge. Okay, so the sponge itself is super soft. I mean, I know I've already said that, but it is really soft. And then obviously, as you guys can tell, I feel like this foundation is definitely medium to high coverage, especially for drugstore. I would definitely say it's a higher coverage foundation than most at the drugstore. I feel like it just really covers my redness like really nicely. One of the big tests for me too is like in here in my nose, and whenever I've been wearing it, it doesn't look weird there. It doesn't like cake up really bad. It just looks really good. And obviously I have like an illuminating primer underneath, but still, like, it is just a really pretty like natural glow. I didn't notice myself getting any extra oily or looking, like a grease bucket at the end of the day with this foundation either. So I am honestly super impressed with this foundation, and I would totally recommend it to anybody who is looking for a different drugstore foundation. Okay, so at Walmart, the foundation is $9.98, and the sponge is $8.98. So sponge is kind of pricey, I guess, but not awful. Obviously, a lot cheaper than a beauty blender. And I will say, As far as how it blended out my foundation, like, it looks so good. I have a bad glare, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I ended up getting 2 concealers. I actually did end up getting these at Ulta because I didn't have them at Walmart. I got a Flower Beauty Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer, and then the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. Let me try to fix that glare. Pause. Okay, you guys are sitting up a little higher than normal, but my husband parked his truck right there, and the sun is bouncing off of it, so there's a glare, obviously. I would go move my husband's truck, but I don't have time for that. So, okay, so I feel like I have a lot of Flower Beauty products in this video, so I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the Catrice one and see what this one's all about. Also, like I said, I've been really dry. My under eyes have been a lot drier than usual, and Kathleen Lights has really dry skin and kind of experiences the same things I do, so hoping this will be the answer to all my problems. It does have a perfume fragrance. Wasn't really expecting that. So basically just like I always do, you know, same kind of shape and everything. Where'd my sponge go? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to take this flat part of the sponge and we're going to blend this out first. I'm going to let my under eye sit for a second. I feel like it, like, I don't know if it, I don't know if it's a sponge or the concealer, but it kind of just went away. Okay, so now we're going to do under the eyes. So this sponge is obviously really big, so it's not the greatest to get, I feel like, up under your eyes, but it's not, I mean, it's not the worst. Okay, so I definitely need more concealer. Like, no, that's not enough concealer for me. Okay. Also, if you guys have ever used Tarte Shape Tape, you guys know it is like a little bit goes a long way. Like, you just don't need that much, so I'm also kind of used to applying it. I don't know, we'll see. It does blend out really nicely though, I will say that. Like, it's not as full coverage as I was expecting, especially for it saying like liquid camouflage high. I mean, it says high coverage concealer on the tube. It did blend out really nicely. It is a good color, and right now it doesn't look drying under the eyes or like emphasizing any of my dryness that I have going on right now. So that's a good sign, I guess. Alright, on to the next thing. This is e.l.f. Beautifully Bare Liquid Highlighter with Vitamin E and the color Illuminating. Lustrelux or Katie recommendation for a liquid highlighter. So I wanted to show you guys the box because the bottle is just so like plain. It says an oil-based liquid highlighter with illuminating pigments that brings light to the face for a glowy, dewy complexion. Shake well and apply a few drops to the fingers and dab along the cheekbones, brow bone, bridge of the nose, and cupid's bow for a dewy highlight. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this. Once I realized that I wasn't going to be able to get the concealer in on time, I decided to go ahead and test this out because liquid highlighters can be like really finicky, and some work well applied a certain way, some work well applied a different way. So I wanted to go ahead and test these out for you guys. So it is such a beautiful, beautiful highlight. Like, when it's sheared out, it just looks, I mean, when it says like barely there, that's really truly what it means. And so I have applied it with my BB cream, and I have applied it when I just did my concealer days, like when I don't do any BB cream, I just apply concealer, and I feel like that's the times when I could see it the most. I applied it under this foundation the first time. Once I applied the foundation, I really couldn't tell a huge difference. But I also had an illuminating primer underneath, so I wasn't sure, you know, what was what. But it is a very, very, very pretty liquid highlight, and I think it's really good to have in your bag. And since it's oil-based, a little bit does go a long way. And I even took some of this the other day and applied it on my shoulders, on my collarbone, and it just looks really pretty. So I'm going to take the sponge, and let's see how it blends this out. I definitely wouldn't suggest like powdering and then applying this, which I know some people are like, well, duh, but I do feel like there are some liquid highlights that you can get away with doing that, or cream highlights. This one is not one of them. It will pick up your powder and kind of move your product around, so I just wouldn't suggest that. I'm going to look up close. So I do feel like the sponge blended all of this out so pretty. I hope you guys can see just how stunning this liquid highlighter is. Like, to set the face, I ended up getting the Maybelline FitMe loose powder. This is in the color Fair Light. This is a loose finishing powder. So what I do is I've taken it and dumped it into the cap here. And so I'm going to first take it under the eyes. Get really close. And then scoot it down a little bit here. No. I definitely feel like under the eyes it looks really good right now. Yeah, it looks good. The like third and final product that I did test out ahead of time, because obviously I feel like with a setting powder you really want to see if it does what it's supposed to do, and for me I had zero complaints with this setting powder. It looks really good. I really actually liked the way it performed with my Wet n Wild foundation, and then I've only used this once with this Covergirl foundation, because I wanted to test this powder out first with my normal, like my go-to basically, and then test it out with the new foundation to see how they perform together. I will say that time it was okay. I feel like they're okay, but I did want to do it again, so I kind of want to see how they perform together today. Okay, so for bronzer, I finally picked up the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Y'all, I'm so late to this party. It's sad. It's really sad. You guys know one of my favorite drugstore bronzers is the Physicians Formula Bronze Booster. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this bronzer. If I can get it out of the package. Does smell really good. But yeah. So here's that. Let's try this. I'm just going to take my normal bronzer brush and apply it like normal. I need a mirror. Hold on. Yeah, that's pretty. It is a very neutral blush, it's a very neutral bronzer, which I love. I feel like that's really pretty. Again, I'm not that surprised, so I did have kind of high expectations for this bronzer. Impression of the bronzer. I'm depressed that I took so long to pick this up. I was trying to be good, you guys. I have so many bronzers. I'm kind of a bronzer junkie, to be totally honest with you. So I was like, oh, I really need to like at least hit pan on one of my bronzers. But I went ahead and got it anyways. Very pretty. Very, very, very pretty. This is the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe Highlighting Palette. So this was also on Casey Holmes' faves, and I hadn't heard anybody talk about this, so it kind of intrigued me when she was talking about it and she showed it on her channel. Let me try to get it open here. I was like, let's try it. So I'm always in the market for drugstore highlighters, and I thought this was good because it gave you 3 different shadow or colors. I will say I think this is like $12 at Walmart, so it is kind of on the pricier side, like to me for drugstore. But I mean, if you don't have any highlighters, I feel like this is actually a really good deal because you are getting 3. I mean, you're getting 3. I will say, obviously, I wish they would have just not even done with this and added maybe, I don't know, a blush or a bronzer or another maybe highlight color. This is so not necessary. If you're using these, please call me, okay? I will tell you the brushes to get. I mean, just don't, please. Actually, I'm going to tell you right now. We're going to use the Real Techniques. This is actually a setting brush, so this is actually a brush to set under your eyes. I really like to use this to apply highlighter, so this is the drugstore brush. Okay, so I'm going to swatch these colors for you guys. So we're going to do the gold one, the pink one, and the silver one. Ooh, okay. And you guys saw it wasn't like, you know, going back and forth or anything. Wow. Hella pigmented. Wow. That is really pretty. So like no glitter, no chunkiness at all. That's stunning. That's really pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna go, I'm gonna start with this one. I was gonna say I'm gonna mix the pink and the white, but let's just start with one. I'm gonna, what? Wow. Okay, I'm sorry. How is nobody talking about this? That is so pretty. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, no. That, you guys. You guys. This actually reminds me of the Balm Mary Luminizer because the way it sits on my skin is so pretty. I have a lot of texture, and so a lot of highlighters just look really bad on my skin. You guys, that's freaking gorgeous. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm so happy I got this. Okay, totally well worth the $12. I was super like, man, that is expensive. Should I really get it? Told you we have a lot of Flower Beauty, so that's why I used the Catrice one, but sorry. I was going to get the Burt's Bees blush, but I went ahead and did the Flower, because this one was a little bit cheaper. The Flower Pots powder blush, and not that I needed another damn apricot blush, but I am addicted to apricot shadows, or apricot blushes, so I went ahead and got Peach Primrose. So it looks like this. Okay, so just gonna take like normal. You guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you know sometimes I go a little too hard on the blush. I get a little too crazy. Okay, but yeah, that's a really pretty color, but I got too much. I don't know why I do that. Like, I don't know. But all I do is just take the bottom of my sponge and kind of go back over the blush, and I do feel like it just softens everything up. Or I'm gonna say, honestly, I think this is like a really good dupe for the Kylie Cosmetics X-Rated blush. This is the color X-Rated. Like, these are like identical, and this isn't as pigmented as the Flower Beauty. Like, go figure. This one has a little bit more pink in it, but I do feel like these are a pretty solid dupe for each other. So if you were always wanted to get the Kylie Cosmetics X-Rated blush, you might want to pick up the Flower Beauty one, and this again is in Peach Primrose. Okay, so I didn't pick up any like eyeshadow palettes. I literally do not need another eyeshadow palette. I think my husband would probably divorce me if I bought any more. Not really, but sometimes it feels that way. So what I thought I would do is just take, I'm going to take this Maybelline shadow. This is in Earthly Taupe, and I'm going to just apply this in the crease. Okay, I'm going to take the Flower Beauty highlight palette, and I'm going to take the gold highlight, and I'm just going to take it on my finger, and we're going to apply it on the lid, all over the lid. Brush and take that same highlight color, the really light like vanilla shadow, and we're going to apply that in the inner. Do y'all see that? Okay, so, I just opened this without telling you guys. So this next and final product I'm talking about, everybody's been raved about this, and I actually purchased this product months and months, like right when it came out, months ago, and waterproof, and I tried it and was like, I don't get it. Like, I like my Maybelline Lash Sensational much better. And then people started telling me, no, you need to get it the regular formula, not waterproof. So I was like, okay. So we're gonna try it today. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise, and I got it in Blackest Black. It says volumize, lengthening, saw more beautiful lashes. So supposed to do it all, kind of like I feel like my Maybelline Lash Sensational. So obviously the packaging looks just like Better Than Sex from Too Faced, which I really like that formula for a high-end mascara. It is actually really good. Here's the wand, so very fat and kind of fluffy. So let's see. Again, I did not like the waterproof formula. Okay, yeah. Totally different formulas. Obviously, I didn't curl my lashes, just one coat. I feel like they separated so beautifully. I hope you guys can see decently. So let's go in with another coat. Yeah, that is night and day compared to the waterproof one. I don't know what the waterproof one just didn't impress me at all. Like, was clumpy? I don't know, just So yeah, okay, I get it now, guys. I get it. Totally, like I said, just totally different from the waterproof one, which is so weird. Like, I don't know, that's just weird. But I normally prefer normal, like not waterproof formulas anyways, but in the summertime, I feel like it's always really nice to have one waterproof mascara. Okay, I tried to just pull my hair down to try to look a little presentable, but I think it backfired on me, so whatever. Okay, so last thing I'm going to do is spray some NYX matte finishing spray. You guys know this is a tried and true, long loved finishing setting spray from the drugstore. I usually try to do that before I apply mascara, so that was a gamble, but okay, so overall, I am super impressed with all the products that I got. I love the highlight, as you guys have already heard me say 1.5 million times. The foundation is so pretty. Like I said, the first day I wore it, I was just like, they totally knocked it out of the park. I am super weary of CoverGirl products because I've never really had a good experience with CoverGirl before. Any products that I've ever gotten before to test or to wear or whatever, they just don't look very good. So that's why it took me so long to try this, but I'm glad I did because I do really like it. I think it just looks super healthy on the skin, which is exactly what it says it's supposed to do. So I would totally agree with the claims on those. The setting powder I've tested and think it works really well. It looks really good on the skin. For a drugstore, you can't beat it. I was still out on the concealer, I'm not gonna lie. First impression, meh. you know, kind of one of those. Um, I don't, I think right now it looks really good under the eyes. It is brightening, which I really like. So, oh, the sponge, really like the sponge. I don't like how it looks so dirty, but it applied everything really beautifully. It blended out everything really beautifully. Yeah. There wasn't really anything I don't feel like that I was just like, I don't like this at all. But I kind of was expecting that because again, I kind of picked things that other beauty gurus, like, you know, high up, you know, really fancy beauty gurus, have like and have said they really like. So that was, I was hopeful. Yeah. So all the drugstore products worked out really well. Thank gosh. I love drugstore makeup. It makes my heart so happy. I have high-end and drugstore, and you guys know I like to feature drugstore on my channel because like everybody can, you know, it's easy, it's easily accessible. Everybody can afford it, you know, give your take. And I feel like you can really start creating your makeup collection with drugstore items and be really happy. And I always want to show you guys that you can create really good, strong makeup looks with drugstore items. You don't need to go and spend like a bajillion dollars. Like that just. So I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for getting ready with me to go run errands. And if you picked up any of these products or you use any of these products, please let me know in the comments below. I want to know y'all's thoughts or you know, what you guys thought about these products. So let me know down below. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should because I'm very active on my Instagram. I do Insta stories, tutorials, lives, post makeup of the days, post stuff about the baby. So follow me there. It's just Mrs. Texas Beauty, all one word, no like periods or anything. I will have the link down below. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching this probably very long tutorial, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye! And this highlight is such a perfect highlight for every day, for this kind of a look for work because it's just very soft. It's not glittery